Today we will hear about the strange activities of a young man from Vietnam who has gone viral not only in Vietnam but also all over the internet in the last few days. For this strange act, this man suddenly decided one day that he would leave everything of civilization behind. There would be no city, no electricity, no market. In his life, he would have only nature, a huge chariot, and the skills of his own two hands. His only goal was to build a completely self-sufficient floating island in the middle of the water by himself. Although it may sound incredible, this dream pulled him towards a secluded lake hidden in the dense rainforest of Vietnam. Jungle all around, strange silence, and unknown dangers. This is where the most difficult test of his life was going to begin. But one thing became very clear here. This man was not just building a house. He was actually creating his own future with his own hands. Where there were no facilities around, no preparation, but there he was using his own skills and ideas to build a new life from scratch. There his incredible construction story began. His first task was to create a floating foundation. While searching around, he discovered that the most suitable material for this is bamboo. It is strong, light and floats easily in water. So he started cutting bamboo one after another and tying them together to make a big raft. But where is the rope? Here too, he finds a solution from nature. He makes a strong rope by tearing the strong fibers of bamboo. By tying the bamboos tightly with that rope, its floating foundation gradually began to form. Then, the wooden structure began to be erected on the raft. But he doesn't have any iron nails. So he uses an ancient construction technique. He makes small holes in the wood and inserts another wooden head into the hole to create a strong joint. Unbelievably, his strong wooden frame stands up even without a nail. Then he starts building the roof. He splits bamboo into thin tiles and places them one on top of the other. They arrange them in such a way that rainwater can easily run down. Within a few days, a small but sturdy house floats in the middle of the reeds. But this house alone is not enough to survive. He needs food. At first, he catches oysters and small fish with his hands in the water. The place where he first started working was very rocky and steep. It was difficult to work there. So he takes his dog to another place, where there was a flat sandy bank. So he starts building a garden on the raft. He brings black fertile soil and rotten leaves from the forest to make small cultivation areas, where he plants chili, vegetables and a banana tree. Slowly, a green little world begins to grow on the floating house. But he doesn't stop there. In the middle of the raft, he builds a small pond where he will raise fish. He makes a special trap for catching fish. One day, a large catfish is caught in that trap. Meanwhile, it is not possible to sit in one place on the raft all the time. So he makes a small boat powered by pedals. This boat, driven by feet, allows him to move quickly. Now he can easily go to different places on the raft and collect more wood and bamboo. Then he comes up with an even bigger plan. Rice cultivation on the water. He builds a large structure with bamboo. He makes a layer of banana leaves to trap water. Then he mixes soil, rotten leaves, and wood ash to create fertile land. There he sows rice seeds. Over time, his floating world grows larger. One day, while walking in the forest, he notices a clear path. He realizes that some animal must be walking on this path regularly. So he sets a trap there. After waiting for a while, 2 wild chickens were caught in the trap. But this was not just a meal for him. It became a future investment for him. He brought the chickens onto the raft and built a small house for them. Meanwhile, he needed bees to collect fruit in his garden. So he went to the forest and found a wild beehive. Very carefully, he caught the queen bee and put it in a new box. In a short time, the entire beehive moved to that new house. Now hundreds of bees started to climb into his garden. And he got another priceless food: honey. Finally, it was harvest time. He cut the rice he had planted with his own hands, dried it, and pounded it into rice. After all this time, the moment of eating his own rice was one of the happiest moments of his life. Gradually, his floating island turned into a small village. There was a fish farm, a vegetable garden, a rice field, a chicken coop, and a beehive. A year ago, he had come here completely alone. But today, standing in front of him was a dream he had made with his own hands. This place is not just a floating house. It is the result of his patience, hard work, and intelligence. In the end, he understands a big truth. The world can never be conquered alone. But if you can live in harmony with nature, you can create an independent life there. And the small island floating in the middle of that river proves today that if a person really wants to, he can build a new world with his own two hands.